Good morning. Here's the latest on the key material developments overnight, starting globally, then moving to Australia and local news. Internationally, the transatlantic relationship is being publicly reinforced amid ongoing tensions. At the Munich Security Conference, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio told European leaders the United States and Europe belong together, and said Washington will not abandon the alliance. The message, reported by the BBC and the Financial Times, is aimed at steadying markets and governments as Europe weighs higher defense spending and greater strategic autonomy. In parallel, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen urged Europe to bring its mutual defense clause to life, framing it as an urgent requirement for deterrence and resilience. On global conflict and security, European foreign ministers say new analysis of samples linked to the late Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny confirmed the presence of a toxin associated with poison frogs. The allegation, reported by ABC News, adds a fresh diplomatic flashpoint with Russia and is likely to intensify calls for accountability and further sanctions coordination among allies. In the Middle East, the African Union Commission chair has issued one of the strongest statements yet from a major multilateral voice, saying the extermination of Palestinians must stop, according to Al Jazeera. The language raises pressure on international forums and could sharpen divisions over ceasefire demands, humanitarian access, and accountability mechanisms. On the technological revolution and artificial intelligence, there are no major, verified AI policy or platform announcements in today's set of reports. However, the broader theme remains that geopolitical competition is increasingly tied to technology, defense capability, and industrial capacity issues being openly discussed alongside alliance commitments in Munich. Turning to Australia, federal politics is focused on community relations and policing after an incident at a Sydney protest. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has called for a full explanation after police disrupted a Muslim prayer and manhandled several worshippers, with SBS reporting the Muslim community is feeling significant hurt. This is likely to prompt scrutiny of protest policing protocols, operational decision-making, and how governments manage social cohesion in a tense global environment. In party politics, SBS reports analysis suggesting the Liberal Party faces long-standing structural and voter trust issues that could continue to haunt senior figures, including Angus Taylor, with commentary that internal problems have previously pushed some voters toward One Nation. While this is not a single policy shift, it signals ongoing volatility in opposition positioning and messaging. On the Australian economy, the Australian public service, and the share market, there are no specific new budget measures, APS reforms, or market-moving economic releases in the provided reports today. Finally, in sport, Australia has recorded a major Winter Olympics milestone. ABC and the Sydney Morning Herald report Jakara Anthony has won gold in women's dual moguls, making her Australia's first double Winter Olympic champion and helping deliver what's being described as the country's best ever Winter Games tally. There's also disappointment for aerials champion Laura Peel, ruled out after a knee injury, with SBS reporting she's the fourth Australian to withdraw from the Milano Cortina Games. In domestic football, State of Origin returned to the AFL after 27 years, with Victoria defeating WA in Perth, though the match was overshadowed by a serious injury to Carlton's Jacob Whitering, according to ABC and the SMH. That's the morning briefing.